What's up, everyone? Welcome to the program. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a nice weekend despite what happened in the market last Friday. But today we have some recovery and there is some good news, some history news here. As you can see, Donald Trump signing a ceasefire deal in the Middle East. He is in Egypt. He has just signed the documents along with Egypt, Turkey, and Qatar leading the way in this peace deal to end the war in Gaza, as you can see here on the CNN landing page. Nonetheless, Trump and the world leaders signed a ceasefire deal. And as you can see on the bottom left of that screen here, the hostages that were held by Hamas have been liberated. So it seems that this deal he is going to hold through, at least for the time being, now that the hostages, which were sort of the main leverage for Hamas, have been freed. Now it is likely that we will see this deal go through, especially with the local governments of the Middle East signing in on this deal. It is just a deal that was brokered by the US and a few Western countries. It is a deal that has been accepted by most of the state actors here in the Middle East. And we are moving perhaps into a moment that will be historic, like some have been in the past. Perhaps they did not become a lasting peace throughout the years, but at least it is for the a ceasefire here, a hand of hostilities in the Middle East. It is definitely some good news. And we're going to have a look at this. But before we do here, we're going to have a look at the market. Of course, a lot of you will know what happened on Friday, a big dump in the market. And as you can see, here a big down candle, and now we have sort of retraced here at the 50% mark. But if we look here for today on the S&P heat map, as you can see, we have a lot of green, contrary to last Friday where everything was red. Here, as you can see, the big movers here: Nvidia 2.7%, Google 2.6%, Amazon 1.5%, and Tesla up 4% here. So the big names, the Mag 7 here recovering pretty nicely, dragging the rest of the market up along with it. So we're going to go back here on the S&P. We're going to have a look here at the indices. The Dow 1.2, S&P 1.5, Nasdaq 2, Dixie around 199.2 here. The VIX going down substantially. Bitcoin holding up not so bad considering what happened, the massive liquidation, a historic liquidation on the crypto market, the biggest liquidation ever, $20 billion of value wiped out on Friday, and a lot of horror stories for those who were on leverage here. Ethereum, not holding as well. Of course, it is more of a better play. The yields down, all along the curve, down substantially here on the news. Let's see here the metals, gold still going higher and higher. There is no stopping this gold train. $4,100 an ounce here. But one thing that you will notice here, it's that the other metals now are gaining momentum. Platinum here, so trading, it seems more better place now. They are increasing in momentum. We're seeing sort of a shift now into the sort of the lower tier asset, perhaps more speculation now, as it seems that nothing is going to stop this bull run here. Silver passing the $51. Passing the $50 was a big mark for silver, and now we are at 51. So we can see here, major stock indices. Let's see if we have something interesting here in the individual names. Not much, not much to report. Everything seems to be pretty much in line here. It is mostly Tesla here, 4%, a big move for a big market cap here. And uranium stocks here doing also pretty well. The crypto sector sort of still holding on for dear life here, but we're gonna focus a little bit on the S&P here, and we're gonna have a look at the SPY on a smaller time frame here. And as you can see here, since the low of April, we've been on an absolute tear here, and despite the panic, it is not all that surprising of a move after, skyrocketing like this, a massive amount for the year. To be quite frank, how big was this move from the low in April here? We were up to, I can't even see, but almost 40%, 37% as of today. So it is not surprising to see, the market giving out a little bit of that move. And it's nothing surprising, as you can see here in August, we also had a down candle like this. We're just coming and tagging the 50 moving average here. And if we hold on, then perhaps there's nothing to worry about. But as you can see here, this candle looks like it's going to be red here for the day. Let's see the price action a little closely here on the day. And as you can see, most of this recovery move here was done at the pre-market. Before everything opened, we gained back perhaps on this news of the Middle East deal. And ever since then, we've been flat. So we'll have to see in the next couple of days what happens here with the markets. Because, of course, a down move like this at a time where the momentum is slowing, it is not something that looks good. And the question is going to be, are we in a topping process now in the market? Are we in that phase where, we get a complacency bounce and then we're going to have some continuation to the downside? Or is this just, a flushing out of the leverage of the greed in the market, like it was the case over here, and then we continue to go and make higher highs? And as of now, it is perhaps too early to tell, but we'll see in the coming days here. Let's have a quick look at GLD here. Gold, as you can see, there is nothing that stops this, and this is sort of a straight line to the top right corner of the screen. And eventually this is going to have to stop, to come to a halt, or at least some kind of consolidation. We have passed now the 4,000 mark, but who knows where this is going to stop? Is it going to be 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000? No one really knows. And of course, the buying pressure from the central banks trying to rise is really what is driving this. And now that people are seeing the price of gold going up, then everybody is getting on that train. And it seems that, it's not going to stop anytime soon, but perhaps eventually something will have to give. Let's have a quick look here at Bitcoin and the crypto market here. So as some of you know, there was a huge down candle here for Bitcoin. A lot of people getting liquidated, especially in the altcoin sector. Some people lost everything over the weekend or on Friday, as if you had some leverage and momentarily you had a week like this, it went down for Bitcoin. all the way down to 106, 105, depending on the exchanges. But when it comes to the altcoins, went flushed down, especially on Binance, all the way down to almost zero. And so everybody who was on leverage got flushed out at the bottom, and they lost a lot of money. So of course this is going to have some consequences for the foreseeable future and the rest of this bull market. Now that $20 billion of value have been wiped out, what's going to happen to those traders who lost that money? Are they going to want to come back and buy back in right away, or are they simply out of the game now and they're not coming back? And if that's the case, then perhaps this is a bad sign for this bull market, especially at a time now when we're coming at the end of the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. And this is the type of price action that we see every time there is a top. It's sort of reminiscent to what happened last cycle with Luna, a big wipeout, all the leverage players getting destroyed, and then after a few weeks, a few months, we saw the dead bodies coming to the surface, and then we realized actually, there were a lot of players were all over leverage, and not doing everything on the up and up like FTX, and eventually they collapsed, and that was the beginning of a cascade of collapses that brought the end of the crypto cycle. Perhaps now we are seeing something like this, and here we have been on this channel at this box here, seeing at least a local tops, perhaps a cycle top here, and every time we've peaked above this box here, just under the 120 area, from 115 to 120, then we haven't stayed above there for long. Every time we've come here and retest, we've been rejected, and perhaps this is the area that will be the top of this crypto cycle. We'll have to see. It of course depends on what's going to happen with the rest of the market on the broader scale. A few notable tokens here that did very well. The Binance coin, as you can see here, look at how big this week was for Binance here, going down. How much was that from top to bottom here? 33% just in the span of like an hour or so. Maybe it was even less. It went down like 15 minutes, and everybody that essentially got on this trade got wiped out. But it's been one of the stronger token. The one that suffered really, really bad was Cosmos here, and this is on Binance US, I believe, but on the Binance International, this Cosmos apparently went to 0.001, so essentially zero, and whoever was trading this on leverage got absolutely destroyed. So we'll see what happens here in the future, if this was just sort of a fake out of this downtrend channel here that we've been since since July, early July here. We've been going on